If you're posting content every day, but you're not getting qualified leads for your business, it's not the algorithm, it's not your editing, and it's not some fancy viral trick that you haven't figured out yet. The problem is you don't have a strategy. So in the next few minutes, I'm gonna walk you through the exact system that I use to generate over $100,000 in 90 days, all without spending a single penny on ads. And it's the same exact system that we use for our clients, and this can all be done in less than 1 hour a week. By the end of this video, the way you look at content will have changed forever, and you will walk away with the exact blueprint on how to generate qualified leads from your content on autopilot. So with all that out of the way, let's break it down. So a lot of content creators, business owners, entrepreneurs, they've been posting for such a long time and have not seen any results. So they ultimately believe that social media just doesn't work for them. And if you're not seeing success on social media, it's likely because your content falls in one or many of these 6 categories. You, 1, think that views equal more money for your business. That is not the case. 2, your videos are way too overproduced. Yes, that is a thing. TikTok and Instagram are a bit different. We can get into that in another video. 3, your content under delivers. You think you're giving good value, but the viewer doesn't agree with you. 4, you have an awful hook. Again, that is the most important part of any video. I have another video talking about that. And then 5, you are giving redundant info. So this is information that has been spewed over and over and over again on the internet hundreds of times, and you're just kind of regurgitating that and not really adding any unique perspective to that. And going along with that, number 6, your content is way too complex. So an example I like to say for this one is, let's imagine you're talking about concussions in football and their long-term effects. Rather than saying chronic traumatic encephalopathy, you should just say CTE. Everyone is way more familiar with that term. But ultimately what it comes down to is that you likely just have no strategy. You are just throwing spaghetti at the wall, seeing what sticks, and hoping that somebody magically just wants to see your offer. And any content that you're posting without a funnel is basically just talking to the void. Even if your video gets millions and millions of views, without a strategy, that still equals no money. That's why it is so important, especially in 2025, for you to shift away from focusing just on views and vanity metrics to focusing on what I'm about to tell you in the rest of this video. But when it all boils down to it, and I really want you to drill this in your head, your audience does not need more content. They need the right content at the right part of their journey at the right time. So if your content isn't structured at the right part of the buyer's journey, you will never get any sales from social media. So let me explain this kind of complex buyer journey I drew out here. So it all starts right here. This is one person watching your video. They are the viewer. So this is probably the first time that they're seeing your content, or let's just say that it's their first time. They are left with so many questions. They have no idea who you are, what you do, or anything like that. So it makes them question. Now, we can go one of 2 ways with this. Either A, we have awareness, so they saw your video, they watched your stuff, they are now aware of you. Then they keep scrolling, they don't take action on anything, but then they loop all the way back to being a viewer again. And that's until we push them down into the next step that I'm about to talk about. The second thing that can happen here is that this viewer can be intrigued enough to go down the funnel a little bit more and binge your content. So this is where they're being bombarded with all of your content because they liked it so much. And again, this can go 3 different ways. They can A, binge your content, not really take any action on it, then keep scrolling, which brings us back to awareness and then brings them back to the start once again. They can B, become a new follower, which pretty much puts them into your ecosystem once again. Then they leave, and then the awareness starts all over again, becoming a viewer, but now they're a little bit more warmed up. Or C, they can feel like your content is specifically targeted to them, and they're very interested on what you do, how you do it, and possibly what you have to offer. But it's very important to note that through both of these stages, you are building something we like to call trust. And if you're in sales or if you're a business owner or you know anything about entrepreneurship, you know that trust is the most important thing to closing more deals. So this is why it is so important to bring people through this little funnel I have here. Now, if this person is scrolling through your content and they feel that your content is targeted towards them, they're going to see one of your videos with a call to action or an offer or a lead magnet or whatever, and then they are going to take action on your product or your services, and they become a new customer of yours. Now, that was a very broadband overview of the customer journey through social media, but now we're about to go over the new way in 2025 to convert these people into paid buyers. All right, so let me show you how this works. The system that I use and that our clients also use is built around this simple 3-step funnel framework: top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. And remember, this is being portrayed through your content. So for top of funnel, you want attention and awareness. So this is stuff that is going to get the most eyeballs possible and maybe even some followers. This is not designed to convert anybody. You just want more eyeballs, more viewers, more followers, and to get people into your system and get familiar with you. So examples of this could be like talking about celebs, or talking about news, or talking about relatable stories, anything like that. Things that are just not directly pushing a product onto people and that a lot of people will resonate and know what it's about. Then we have middle of funnel, where we are going to be shifting beliefs and educating people. So an example of this could be teaching or telling people that they're doing something wrong. That's up for you to decide. And then we have bottom of funnel, which is going to be your proof and your conversion. Now, an important thing to note is that your bottom of funnel content should not just be, hey guys, I have this new product. You should buy it, please. No, you need to package it in a way where people are still interested in what you have to say, and you're kind of hitting them with a sneak attack almost. So a perfect example of this, and what I use all the time, is client results. So a video like how I took my client from X to Y in time frame, all without doing Z. So the best way to think about this funnel is like dating almost, okay? So the top of funnel is like meeting somebody at a party. You're kind of talking to them, you're getting to know them, you like them, they like you. Middle of funnel is getting to know that person even more and then going on a date, whether that be grabbing coffee or going to a movie or dinner or anything like that. Not too serious, but they're getting to know a little bit more about you. And then bottom of funnel is the proposal. You want to lock those people in and have them be a permanent part of your life. Now, if we take that same analogy and apply it to what people are doing wrong, the problem is most people just propose right on the first date. You don't even give people a chance to get to know you. You're just like, hey, want to be a part of my life forever. Not a good thing to do. Or they just keep posting selfies and hope that somebody just magically shows up at the wedding because they like them. Not going to happen. So let me make this real for you super quickly. Let's say you are a women's health coach and you are posting on social media. Your top of funnel ideas will look something like this: 3 foods wrecking your hormones. That's very broad. It has mass appeal, and a lot of women will find that very interesting, will save that, share it, and follow you for more tips. Middle of funnel content, something like the best alternative to intermittent fasting. A lot of people will think this is very interesting. It'll be a little bit more in-depth, and it will show your expertise and your authority, but it will also get people to follow you, and obviously you're building more trust along the way. And then for bottom of funnel, like I said, you're going to talk about how your client lost 12 pounds in 3 weeks, all without dieting. Now, to any woman out there who's looking to lose 10 to 20 pounds, this is going to sound very enticing to them. How did this client lose 12 pounds in 3 weeks, all without dieting? That is what's going to get them to book a call with you and then become a client or buy an ebook or any of your products that you may have that don't require that. Obviously, that was a super quick overview, but I think you get the point. So now let me show you how we build it. Most people overcomplicate the heck out of their videos. We only spend about an hour a week total creating high converting, lead generating videos, so you might want to steal this. So step number 1, you want to start with the avatar. Who is the exact person you're trying to help? What are the pain points that they're feeling right now? And if we had 10 minutes to shift their beliefs, what would we say to them? It's almost like an elevator pitch. So for example, let's say we are still a women's health coach and we're targeting 30-something-year-old burnout moms. You don't need another reel. You need clarity on what your target audience is struggling with. You can post all the day-in-the-life videos that you want, but that will never get anybody to buy from you because you're not hitting on those pain points or solving them. Then step number 2, we are going to map the funnel. Is it top of funnel? Would it grab them in the first 3 seconds? Is it middle of funnel, talking about what is keeping them stuck? Or is it bottom of funnel? What proof would make them say, that's me, or I want that to be me? So again, if we're talking about client results, what 30-year-old super busy mom doesn't want to lose 12 pounds in 3 weeks all without dieting? See where I'm going with this? The next thing we're going to do is pick the right hook format. So there are tons and tons and tons of hook strategies and things you can do in the hook. I already made another video on that. It's about 12 or 15 minutes long. It's very in-depth, very detailed. So go watch that if you need help with that. The next thing we're going to do is build our talking points. And there's a 5-step structure that I use called the stack sequence that helps me lead through the journey of a video. So 1, we have context. 2, build up. 3, climax or turning point. 4, insight. 5, action. For context, this is basically just setting the scene. It talks about who, what, where, and why the viewer should care. The context is your anchor. If you do not nail that, nobody will care. They will not continue to watch your video. Next, we are going to move onto the buildup. So what this does is adds pressure, stakes, or complexity, and this is really where you start to layer in emotions or details or any strategy to build more momentum into your story. In super simple terms, you're just making them more curious. And then we have the climax. This is the part of the story that's going to get people to like or follow you. You promised a payoff at the start of the video. Now you need to deliver on that promise. What is the overall takeaway? What is the win, the loss, the lesson, anything that you can think of? It needs to be something that they will remember. And then we move on to the insight. So obviously the climax and the turning point just happened. So this is where we unpack it and find out what we learned and kind of really break it down in layman's terms for these people. And then we move on to action. So this is where it ends with your point of view, or you're challenging the audience to kind of think of their own point of view, but this is where you tie it back to them. What can they take away from your video? And if you do a good enough job explaining this, they will comment, save, follow, like, share your video. That's where that all happens. So now I just want to show you a quick real life example on how this has changed our client Matt's entire business. So a little over a month ago, Matt came to us and he was doing pretty well on social media, but he wasn't getting many leads for his supplement or his business. I mean, you can see here, 227,000, 15,000, 47,000, 10, 11, you get the point. But as I've been telling you throughout this entire video, even though he got all of these views all the time, it still did not equal money. He got no signups for his one-on-one coaching, no signups for his programs, and didn't sell any supplements. So then we came in and changed his content. So this video right here was top of funnel. He was talking about Sam Sulek in bodybuilding and something. This did 870,000 views, but it did not convert to sales. That's okay. It's top of funnel. But then we have this one here that's talking middle of funnel. So that got 15,100 views, and he's talking about how he prepped for a bodybuilding show while working full-time and raising 3 kids. So it's a little bit of education, but also a personal story built in there already. So as you can see here, this funnel was already working for him. Middle of funnel content, top of funnel, get more eyeballs, get people on his page, and look at his stuff. Then if we scroll up a bit, Matt has this video with 14,000 views, and he's talking about how he specifically trains to be a firefighter and stay in shape as a firefighter. Now, as you look on the surface of this, 14,000 views is nothing crazy, right? However, out of these 14,000 views, he got 246 likes. Again, nothing groundbreaking, but out of those 14,000 views and 246 likes, he got 176 leads for his business, where he gave them a lead magnet and put them into his funnel, which was then followed by him messaging me and saying, getting too many clients, I had to raise my prices. A very good problem to have, I would say. So if you're a business owner, making content should not be your job. Your job is running your business. You don't need to spend all this time working on frameworks or hooks or talking points. We will come into your business and we will do this for you. Every step A through Z is done for you. The only thing that you have to do is show up and record. We'll do the rest. If you have dealt with these issues and you're wondering how our system works, just book a call below and we'll show you exactly how we can implement it in your business and how it has worked for many other businesses as well. But that's all for today. I hope you guys got a massive amount of value out of this, and I'll catch you in the next one.